And we are recording. Good morning, Marty Katz.
Good morning, Raphi Salem.
Good morning, Eric Mendelsohn, if that's your real name.
Good morning, Eric Mendelsohn.
Good morning, Ralphie and Marty.
Eric, I don't know if you know this, but Marty and I have been recording these sessions secretly without anyone knowing. But I felt like today we should tell you that we are recording.
Thanks for the heads up. I appreciate that. That's quite
okay. Now, I want to tell you something, Eric. Marty also doesn't know that I've been recording these and putting them up on YouTube and on social media. So every time he drinks, he thinks that it's just me and him. But the whole entire world is actually watching Marty drink out of his glass.
This is not vodka, I must say.
Cheers, Marty.
It is
vodka.
Cheers.
It's just for the record. It's just for the record. So anyway, Eric, welcome to the Raphi and Marty show, AKA the Marty and Raphi show.
How do you ever decide whose name goes first in a show? Who do they usually pick? Is it like?
So I have my answer. Marty, would you like to answer your answer?
You know, with us, it depends on the day. It depends on our moods. It depends on who's the co-host, who's the real host. I think in general, the first name is the one that is the better writer, and the other one is the better humorist, something like that.
So I'm going to rebut that by saying that Marty is significantly older than I am, but he also has a significantly more hair than I do. So there's a balance between respect, who you want to put first, and there's also a balance between how much experience, and there's also alphabetization. So Marty comes before Raphi. So all of those influence what we call this show, whether it's the Marty and Raphi show or Raphi and Marty show.
I'm sure this is fascinating to our viewers and to many aliens who would be looking at this right now.
So Marty, did you want to just jump into the whole idea of business development? You just wanted to jump into it?
No. I don't believe in jumping at all. I believe in walking it.
So Marty, you're the type of guy who, when you walk into a pool, you walk slowly down the steps into the shallow end, and then you swim out into. I jump into the deep end. That's
right.
Me.
Right. Whether or not there's water in the pool or not makes no difference to you, but you just jump in.
I think we should ask Eric what he does. First of all, if he does his own hair, that's first of all. And second, what he does if there's water in a pool. Eric.
So it's actually a great question. So actually, during the quarantine, I decided to start doing my hair myself. So it was a new hobby I took on. So now, every 10, 14 days, I just do it myself. So, and now it's been a couple months. I'm doing great with it. So I'm open to now other referrals past myself, if you guys know of anyone. I could use a pool. So if you know of any good pools, could definitely use one.
So I'm confused. Is this the Raphi and Marty salon, or is this have something to do with business, as in business development? Let's get some clarification around that question.
Marty, I asked you, the first question I asked you was, do you just want to jump right into business development, or did you want to chit chat a little?
I'd like to jump into coiffure first. Let's talk about our different hair issues and what we use to groom ourselves.
So Eric, I am significantly older than you are, because I need to groom my head at least twice a week. I can't wait those 10 to 14 days. Otherwise it gets all
bushy.
messy. It's like I have an afro after.
I hear you. Right. Well, I guess that's something I haven't been through yet, but I guess maybe I'll get that point. I'll get there eventually. So.
But Eric, what you're really missing out on is I have been watching Marty do this for the past 3 months.
I'll do it too.
He does this every show. Every show he's doing this. Marty, When was your last haircut? And who gave it to you?
Listen, since the pandemic began, my wife has been cutting my hair. And the last cut was maybe 2 weeks ago, and we go to a park. We tried to do it on our roof. We have a roof garden, but then we got chased away because you're not supposed to be cutting hair on the roof, so we had to leave. So we go to a park nearby, Riverside Park, and we get some other requests from passersby, and that's how we roll.
That sounds good. I'm ready to do business development talk now.
Oh, you don't want to just jump in? You don't want to? What are you doing?
I'm walking into the pool. I'm walking into the pool.
Did you notice if there's any water in the pool?
I noticed. It's very clear, blue, cool, and refreshing.
Oh, very good. Okay, well then
yes,
let us
just like your shirt, by the way. Just like your shirt. I have to say, I have not seen that shirt on the Marty and Raphi show in the past.
It's a premiere. It's a premiere.
It's a premiere. Eric, you should feel honored.
I do feel honored. Gosh, I mean, Marty, you really did up for me.
I did. I wanted to make a good impression. I wanted to impress you with my shirt.
So Eric, you have been attending online the business development workshop that Marty and I have been putting together for the past few months.
Yeah.
Are you located in New York? Where are you located?
Yeah, I am. I'm located in the city, though, my business works the whole entire metropolitan area. So.
And how did you hear about Marty's business development workshop?
And how did you hear about my shirt? Well, that's what's more important is the shirt. It's just beautiful. The orange, it's. But then again, the orange reminds me of the Mets, who are doing horrible right now. So that's not something good to talk about. But anyway,
you can always edit this video,
yes.
So don't worry about that.
As far as the how I heard about it, because I came to your BNI chapter, BNI chapter 1, and so Ralphie was very friendly. Puts in his note in the chat about a group he's involved in. And I'm always looking to, meet new people. Zoom meetings is where it's at these days. And, I used to go to a lot of events, but obviously you can't do that anymore. So I've actually gotten a lot out of meeting people over Zoom. So I came on and then I met the great Marty.
So Marty, why don't you remind people what we're doing in these workshops?
So BizDev Leaders is a workshop and networking group. It's a meetup. And we meet so that business leaders who are responsible for business growth have an opportunity to burnish and enhance their message. The reason they would want to do this is that they can then create awareness of their companies, engagement with their prospects, and this would drive sales leads. So this is a way to do that by having a message that's very focused and very clear. So people meet and they have a chance to present what they do, and I give them some feedback and some guidance based on my own experience in the business, and they walk away with a better understanding of what's really required so that they can engage with their target audience. So that's how we roll, and so we're happy that you, Eric, have joined us today on this auspicious occasion, the first Monday in the month. So that's what we do, and we're here to talk to you today, Eric, to find out about your vision of business development, and just to let you know about how we define it. Business development is the development of long-term relationships that lead to business growth. And these relationships need to be nurtured so that each individual party, as part of the relationship, wins and gains. It's not sales and it's not networking. It's how can companies work together. So for instance, Raphi is an expert in digital marketing and I'm an expert in messaging and branding. So we put together BizDev. It's a business development example so that people can come and perhaps out of this, we can develop our own relationships with people and grow our own businesses together and separately. So that's how we define it. So now enough about me talking about BizDev. Let's have you, Eric, talk about BizDev. How do you define it? And let's just start with how you define business development. Is it the same as mine or is it some other variation?
Yeah, it's really fostering your business through mutual beneficial relationships and thinking about your business from a strategic standpoint. And then behind the strategy, comes data, comes messaging, comes you know comes from more more analytical avenues. Sales, I just think of it's just a straight shoot. Like sales, and you think about like car use salesman approach, and making the phone calls, and going through objections, and getting to the yes. But business development, puts a lot more behind it than just making the phone calls, and and more behind networking too. So it's really just being analytical about your business. And certainly, like, I think like that's kind of where I've enjoyed coming to the meetings and hearing your feedback, and analyzing someone's messaging and saying you should be here instead of here, and sharpening up someone's message. And I think I've really seen the professionals have gotten a lot out of it, being in the hot seat. It's tough to be inside, but being inside there, you really do gain a strategic messaging approach to your business.
Well, thank you.
I have to apologize because we didn't formally introduce Eric. Eric is with Transworld Business Advisors. But before we jump into it, I think, Eric, perhaps you should tell us about what your role is, and about the company, and about your role, without getting into the fear that Marty will martify you during this call. Unless that's his plan. I don't know. And with Marty, anything can happen.
Go on, Eric.
So I work for Transworld Business Advisors. We're actually the largest business brokerage in the world, with over 220 offices worldwide. We have actually more than 660 agents. And so I work with business owners to sell their business, and buyers to purchase a business or buy their competitor. Think of a real estate agent. My job is very similar, except I'm dealing with existing businesses. So that could be your Main Street business. So think of a liquor store, think of a laundromat, think of your favorite bar or restaurant, or it could be a small family business, such as a wholesaler, distributor, manufacturer, and that's really where we are. We work with small business owners to sell their business, and buyers to buy a business or buy their competitor.
So Eric, I noticed on your LinkedIn profile, you've been with Transworld a little over a year, but you're coming from a real estate background. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to Transworld?
Yeah, so my background actually started, I was actually in the corporate world in the financial services business. I had a few jobs. I had one job being valuations, another job being project management. Then I got my MBA, and then I actually started real estate. It was a very tough job market. That was 2009, 2010, and I started in real estate, and I saw how much I enjoyed to be around people, to work with people, and that's what I did full time for 9 years straight. And I really enjoyed it. But then an opportunity came to me, and I really thought that with my background in business and my background in sales, that this would really be a perfect mix for me, where I would be able to leverage all my previous skills. And that's exactly what I've done. In the past year, I've already built a very nice business for myself. I really think that it's by having both of those, having the business acumen and by having that sales and marketing experience, has really given me the ability to succeed.
So I have a question. So the people who want to sell their businesses, what motivates them? Is that they want to retire? They want to move to another business? They want to move to another geographic location. Take us through a little bit of that so that our viewers can understand this piece of your business.
Yeah, so the main reason why someone wants to sell a business is due to a life change. The two biggest we see are retirement and relocation. Others can be certainly a divorce, death in the family, business partners not getting along, want to try something else, want to move to another career.
Or
maybe
if their partner just wears shirts that just turn you off.
That's enough of a reason, huh?
Well, I certainly wouldn't make that change if my partner was wearing that shirt. But I could see other people wanting to get out of it, like they just couldn't deal with it.
And people want to buy other businesses because they want to invest, they have a lot of cash, they want to move into a new segment in the marketplace, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's just it's a business owner who owns who owns a business, and maybe they want to, vertically integrate, horizontally integrate. So it depends upon where they are, and they see an opportunity to really expand their business. Other times it can just be because they have a passion. Obviously, Mari's passion is for shirts with a little bit of a flair to it. So so maybe you'd want to buy a business that kind of fits that. And so it's by seeing where's your passion, and what would I like to do. People realizing sometimes that they don't want to be in the corporate world. And I think that's what happened to me, and and for you guys too. It's there's a lot of value in doing your own thing and not having to answer to anyone else. Though I mean, obviously, I can't determine who answers between Marty and Raphi and Marty.
So tell us a little bit more about your own business development activities. Describe what you do, what your strategy is, and examples of business development. Remember, it's not sales, it's not networking. Just give us some examples.
Yeah. So as far as strategies that I use to employ, it's really adding value. Constantly adding value. So, you are going to, one way I do is by certainly being out there, meeting people, trying to connect with power partners. But one way I do that is by trying to provide value on my end. Who can I introduce this person to in my network?
Can you just back up one step, Eric? Because you talk about connecting with people, but how do you even start that process?
Yeah, I mean, it's by finding. I think the A thing to do is find who it is that you actually want to connect with.
So in Marty's words, your audience. Who is your audience?
Right, and find that, and so a lot of times, like the A is your ideal client, but a lot of times, like there's a lot of people you can meet who are maybe who can properly introduce you to that A client you want to meet, who maybe you cannot meet on your own, or who it would require such money and budget in order to meet those A people. So if you can get those introductions to the people you want to meet, saying, oh, I know of a guy for you, I know a lady for you, it really works, and it really can get you access to referrals that you would never ever gotten before.
Right. So that's referrals, and that's networking, and that's terrific.
Right.
But business development, as you mentioned at the outset, is not about networking. It's not about referrals. It's not about sales.
Yes.
It's about finding other partners. For instance, let's just say a lawyer might develop some kind of a business relationship with an accountant, and they would have seminars that they would both sponsor, or they would both speak at, or develop a speaker who represents a particular topic. That's an example of BizDev, business development. So tell us a little bit about how you approach that.
Yeah, right. So it's figuring out who else is meeting the people that I want to meet on a daily basis. is that an attorney? Is that a B2B professional? Is that a B2C professional? Is it a CPA? Is that a financial advisor? Who else is having daily conversations who would know about, like I said, who would know about people who are going through life changes? That is the reason why people are going to sell or buy a business. So who else, what other professionals are encountering those individuals? So
two things. Number one is I'm still trying to get it out of you. Yes, we're talking about the process and the theory of business development, but how do you specifically do your own business development? And does your company support you? Right. And in what way?
For instance, just to add on that, what events have you created in the way that we've described here? Not just about referrals, but what events have you created?
Yeah, so as far as events that I've created, for example, I created a networking group with my alumni association of my college, Wisconsin, go Badgers. So, I helped them to create an alumni group here in New York City for us to meet and discuss business, and to help alumni get referrals. I created a group for MBA alumni to meet, and to go to events. So we had a Zoom event back in June for MBAs who were in the New York City area and who wanted to meet other individuals. So it's by trying to think of who it is, who else that I want to meet and where else possibly I can meet them and add value to a place where there's not that current environment.
So you've created these two groups, these alumni groups in New York City. Yeah. I would ask you also, what events are you attending which have been successful for you? And once again, how does Transworld support you in your efforts?
Yeah, so so as far as Transworld supporting me on my efforts, it's really up to me as an individual to go out and find places to where I can go out and meet the people that I need to meet. So they're supportive from that standpoint, but it's up to the individual to really think and be creative and give a thought, like, where can I meet these individuals who can help me? Other organizations that I belong to, or groups that I attend, besides for your wonderful group every other Thursday morning.
It's all true, folks. It's all true.
Would include, so I've been a BNI member for the past 4 years. BNI is great. You're going to meet a lot of
what chapter?
Chapter 53. So you're going to meet a lot of really great professionals in a BNI group. Yes, it costs a lot of money, and it's every week, so it's a big commitment. But it does work, and seeing people, every week does gain trust. And by seeing people at one event and never talk to them again, that doesn't create trust. It's by seeing that repetitive interactions, that's what creates trust. Then besides for that too, there's also a group I go to this. It's called the We Are All in This Together Roundtable on every other Tuesday morning. It's a great group also of individuals who all want to help another and get through these these very tough times. And that was created during the quarantine. So as far as the groups that I'm going to these days, that's pretty much what it consists of.
Does Transworld have any business development activities such as co-sponsorships of an event or co-sponsorship of a workshop where Transworld and another organization sponsor an event or speak at an event together?
Yeah, so there's some events we would do with, let's say, with a SBA lender. We have a few of those. I mean, certainly the SBA lenders, want to get to know us, and we want to get to know them, because everyone's asking us about financing their business. So that certainly is a very, very important mutual beneficial connection for us at Transworld.
And do they have a website, and do they send out emails on your behalf?
Yeah, so as far as Transworld sending out emails on our behalf, it's really up to the individual agent. So we are, similar to real estate, we are independent contractors. So we have this great corporate company supporting us, and we can leverage their brand, and that includes like leveraging the name, all their back office capabilities. But it's up to us as individual agents to go out there and find our own business.
Similar to a real estate brokerage.
Yes.
That's great. Marty, would you like to wrap things up? Any final questions?
Well, let me just ask you one other question here, Eric. As you look forward in the business development arena, what do you see as trends? And I do understand that this will largely be colored by the fact that we're still having to deal with lockdowns. But what do you see as a trend in business development? Meaning, what cooperatively funded activities do you see that you as an individual independent contractor or your organization will be looking forward to in the coming time?
Yeah, so I mean, that's a good question. Certainly I mentioned the financing aspect of it. I believe there's plenty of room for, certainly business attorneys are seeing a lot out there too, with what's going on in the current market. So which trying to partner with business attorneys, or could be a CPA. I know CPAs are also getting lots of questions about selling their business possibly. So certainly, those would be two examples of power partners. Other B2B types of businesses too. So certainly suppliers, wholesalers, who are working with a lot of the retail stores, I think presents opportunity. Certainly we are seeing already, everyone's curious about rent. It's the first question I get from buyers these days. Like, what's the rent on this business? And now with, of course, we're going to see a influx of vacant storefronts throughout your own city or your own town. Understanding like where the opportunity lies for new businesses. So certainly working with, let's say, commercial real estate to understand where a business that exists really has massive value in the marketplace, because if a business can get through these tough times, it has shown that it has proven value in the marketplace.
So I'm going to wrap up things here and say thank you, Eric Mendelsohn of Transworld Business Advisors. Thank you, Marty Katz of Connectors 360.
Thank you, Raphi Salem of Salem Global.
Very, very formal. You can't be that formal with that shirt on. You realize that that's not a black tie affair. You can't wear that to a black tie affair.
Oh, yes, you can. I do. This goes great with the tuxedo.
Not even.
Oh, yeah. I checked with Ralph Lauren this morning. He said, go do it.
No, not even black tie optional.
No. He said it was fine. He said it was fun, and I go with him. Calvin Klein also called. Let me know this.
I beg to differ with the experts in the industry.
Deal with them.
But once again, I am a lot smarter and more successful than the experts in the industry. So, so it makes sense that they would disagree with me, because they're just not at my level.
Yeah, I know. Calvin Klein's running for cover. Now he says, oh, here's Ralphie. I got to go. I got to get out of here. Yeah. Well, you should know that Ralph Lauren and Raphi Salem have the same first name.
Yes. So there's a lot we have in common.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So Marty, thank you again for always being my partner.
Thank you.
On these webinars and workshops and these podcasts. Eric, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And two things. Number one, just in the announcements before we end this, I noticed we have 10 people already signed up for our for our next workshop, Marty. And guess who is not one of those 10 people?
Eric.
Total guilt trip right here, right now, on the Zoom. Eric, are you planning on joining us?
I give you guys a shameless plug, and you give us back as far as the guilt trip to me.
Man, total guilt
That's
trip.
how he rolls. That's what he does all the time.
Thursday, August 13th. Eric, we hope you can make it, because
Yeah,
you
come on.
have been a very loyal attendee of our workshops, and please spread the word. I'm going to stop the recording, but don't hang up and stay on the line. So say cheese on the way out.
Cheese on the line. Cheese.
Cheese on the way out.